One spirit in the dark, like a candle wavers. Many spirits joined as one, burn with the power of the blazing sun. There is strength in community, the circle empowering you and me. Circles bind yet set us free in the sacred name, so mote it be. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. Good morning, Kathy Bushnell. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Sunday Morning Tea and Tarot. I am Valerie Friend. You can find me at valeriefriend.com. here on Facebook or YouTube. And if you're liking the YouTube experience, subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, all the things. Good morning, Facebook user. Tell me who you are. Blessed Beltane. Yesterday was Beltane proper, I guess, but really it's the season of Beltane. We're in the season of Beltane from now until summer solstice. So get in the Beltane state of mind. Good morning, Andrea Spencer. Good morning, Jane and John and Ricky, Jean and Taryn. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Kate. Hey, so let me tell you a little bit about the moon this morning. Nope, I'm gonna back up to Beltane. I was talking about Beltane season and then I got distracted by the feed. Hi, Michelle Foster. Hi, Carla. Hello, Margaret. Blessed be to you. So Beltane's deal is fertility in prime time. Conception and gestation are fully operational right now. All the farm animals are randy. All the pollinators are doing their job. All the trees are budding and bursting forth with new life. This is the energy of Beltane. And each day we have a new opportunity to birth ourselves anew. You know, like this is the first time you've ever done this day. It's a first. You've never done this day before. Embrace it like that with the newness, the freshness. Good morning, Tino. Good morning. So now let's talk about the moon. Right now, the moon is waning in Capricorn, but soon it's going to be moving into its last quarter phase in Aquarius. And this is a potent time for breaking free, breaking up with outmoded thoughts and behaviors that keep you from your true freedom, that keep you from your new opportunities, your rebirth. This is also a time when we want to think about what gets in the way of your own personal systems upgrade. Okay? What excuses do you make up for yourself to say, I can't move forward on that right now. I just can't. You know, I can't even do one thing moving forward right now. What are the stories? What are the tapes that are running in the back of your mind? And what really needs to go on the emotional compost heap? On the what are the obsessive thoughts? You know, Aquarius is an air sign. What are the thinking problems that are causing you to sort of bag out and say, oh, I just can't do that. That'll never work. That's my favorite go-to one. Oh my God, that'll never work. You know, so think about it. Think about it. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Liza. Hi, Monica. Good morning. Good morning. Seeing lots of my friends. Do a little like and share if you're called, because it helps get the message out. So Aquarius energy is supportive of positive social changes and out of the box thinking. And with Aquarius, we always want to keep in mind the highest good of all. Aquarius is not a me, me, me sign. It's like what works best for everyone. This humanitarian can offer new approaches to old problems, but only if they serve the good of all. Only if it solves the problems for the most creatures. That's the Aquarius vibe. So as we go into prayer this morning, I want us to activate your sacred heart chakra. Sacred heart chakra is between your heart chakra and your throat chakra, right here, sort of at your clavicle. I like to put this rose quartz right at my sacred heart chakra. And let's extend our energy up and out. And collectively, humanly, spiritually, form a circle of unconditional love. We don't have to like everything that we all do. This is just about unconditional love as a vibration to hold us in this container and surround the planet. Together, we release the systems that trick us into believing that we are alone. As we open the channel of divine love and light to bring forth this message for Sunday morning tarot, I ask that our guides, angels, light beings, and ancestors show up, surround us with love and protection, and bring forth the messages that are clear, concise, and actionable, delivered for our highest good, in fact, the highest good for all. And we ask in perfect love and perfect trust, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Sam. Who else did I miss up here? Hi, Roxanne. Hey, Meryl. Oh, good reminder, Liza. Yeah, let's show this one. We don't allow viewers to request other viewers to message them for a reading. We believe these are bots. I'm testing a spam filter today. Hopefully it works. Liza, you are the ultimate wing witch. Thank you. Hi, Michelle, Katie. Hi, Gina. And Mary Jane Benoit. Hello. Hello. So I was called back to the Wildwood deck after we gave her a few weeks rest. Did a little reset recharge with this deck. This deck, the authors are Mark Ryan and John Matthews. The illustrator is Will Worthington. And I adore this deck. I adore this deck, and you'll see why. So we're going to do if you're new, we do the group energy reading first, and then we do card pulls. If you put your name in the feed, Amy calls who she's drawn to, or Natalie calls who she's drawn to. And we won't get to everyone, but stay around for the individual card pulls, because if somebody else's message speaks to you, it's for you too. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Roxanne. Hey, let's say hello to the twins. Hey, girls.
Hello, hey, ladies. Hey, twins.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Are you ready for this morning?
I don't know. Yes. You made it sound like a little yes.
Well, here's what I want to tell you. A little spoiler alert. The swirl, the collective energy available to everybody is wonderful this week. The path and the illumination, not so much. Lots of resistance. So pay attention and think about yourself. Don't point your finger outwards and say, yeah, that person does that and this person does this. Think about yourself. I got to slow down a little. Oh, Stephanie loves the wildwood. Yeah, Stephanie, I've been working with this deck for years and years, and it never disappoints. Never, ever disappoints. Good morning, my sister Dee Dee.
Dee dee.
She says hello to you and Amy too, Nat.
Dee 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 dee
Dee dee dee dee dee dee dee dee. Okay, quit fooling around. We're going to get down to business here. All right, here's the swirl. And this is the good part. So anything that calls to you that you want to keep on a little list, a little word here or there to help remind you of what's available is going to help you out this week. We start the swirl with the Four of Stones. Ryan and Matthews label this card protection. Here we feel this hope for the vulnerable and hope that we will be able to take care of the weakest among us and really take it on as our responsibility. Positive human assistance and protection for all, not just for the 1%, not just for corporations, not just for white people, not just for men, not just for straight people, but we want to include everyone in the protection. Everyone. Even if sometimes it means like we have to do a risky thing to help offer protection to those who are vulnerable. This is where we're getting this from. And I also want you to ask yourself, where is your place of safety? Because you can't go around saving the world all the time if you don't have your own safe space to go back to, regroup, recharge, get your own nourishment. A bunch of wounded warriors in the struggle for the good of all are not very effective. So if you're a wounded warrior right now, you got to go to your little place of safety and heal. You got to heal. I lost my place. The Forest Stone also speaks about all the resources that are needed to create safe space for all. The seeds that we have saved from last year will now be planted to sustain the tribe through the next year. Donations of goods and services can help you release what no longer serves you and give that energy to those who need it and will make use of it. It's time to pass things along. And I can tell you this, monetary donations this week will be doubly blessed. When you make an offering of your dollars to someone in need, it will open the fullness for you and for them. So super generous. The last quarter moon is an excellent time to work on banishing heartlessness and individualism right now. As long as I'm safe, everything's good. The rest of you can all go fuck yourselves, None of us are like that, right? But sometimes we can get a little bit wrapped up in our own business and forget that there's other people who have needs. All social ills can be addressed in your personal workings this week. But remember, put your time and your talent and your money where your mouth is. Because I'm sorry to break the news to you, posting memes on Facebook doesn't really protect the vulnerable. it really just says, see what a good humanitarian I am? I posted this meme that Black Lives Matter, so I'm a good white person. No, 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 no. That's not what it's about. You can do that, but you got to do other stuff as well. Time, talent, money, sharing, caring, embracing, talking to somebody, having a meaningful conversation. All these kind of things create an orb of protection for the entire planet, right? Oh, look at this. Tamara says, actions speak louder than memes. Oh, we need a t-shirt for that.
Yes,
Amy, can you put that on your design list?
It'll be done before you're even off the air.
We will make t-shirts that say that actions speak louder than memes.
That's good.
It's perfect. Woo! So following the Four of Stones, our protection vibe is the world tree. The world, again, this week. The world has been showing up every week for, I think, like 5 weeks now. And in the Wildwood Tarot, you can see that the world tree encompasses all 4 seasons. It's an old ancestor tree. It's big. It takes up space. In front of it is the labyrinth that leads you to the door, the portal, to the entire wisdom of the universe, the completion of cycles. It's just a beautiful, beautiful image. This time we see the labyrinth leading us to the door of a new era, a new cycle, a portal. The world tree marks the end of one journey for the wanderer and the beginning of the next journey. When one portal closes, another portal opens. I hear a real leveling up process for the collective over the next year. And I don't mean leveling up your followers on Instagram. I mean leveling up your sacred heart chakra's ability to hold space for the good of all and the harm of none. What you are personally, let me frame that as a question. I want you to think about what you are personally closing the door on so that you can step into this fresh perspective, this new way of doing business, this way that says, no one is free unless everyone is free. That kind of thing. And the only rule for this week is that sincerity lead the way. A pure and noble cause is the key that unlocks the magic. A pure and noble cause will unlock the magic. Last in the swirl is our sweet little Page of Vessels, Page of Cups. Ryan and Matthews have given this the spirit of the otter. And the otter is equally skilled both in the water and on the land. Fast runner, great swimmer. Slippery and easy to get through tight places. All those kind of things. So I want you to think about this as emotional and physical flexibility and how those two things work in tandem to enliven us collectively and personally. This is the sweet little page that just is wide-eyed and wonder-filled and really believes that there's good in everyone. And, maybe they're a little naive. Some of us would label them that for sure. But wouldn't you all like to feel a little bit more tender towards life towards your neighbors, towards your community, towards your country, the world, every bit. Wouldn't you like to spend some time dreaming up some new things, writing messages of hope from your soul, not so that you can post them on social media? I'm going to be a little down on social media this week, but maybe you want to write them in a little card and send a friend a note. That could be a good way to sort of play around with this energy. Loyalty this week. How might you increase your emotional elasticity and offer unconditional compassion? Here's going to be my little confessional story this week. I do not like my neighbor. I like his wife and his daughter a lot. I do not like my neighbor. And this week, just for this week, just as practice for me, I'm going to send metta to my neighbor. You know, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be guided by the spirit of love. May you always have enough to eat. May your home be safe and secure. All those kind of things. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. But if you really want to up your game around unconditional loving compassion, pick someone you don't like and pray for them every day this week, okay? I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Fortunately, I'm able to do this because he hasn't done anything directly to piss me off yet this year. But anything like that, if there is a situation that you don't like, you can send it metta. You know, I had to go and have dental surgery. I don't like that, but I can send metta to everybody who's working on my mouth, to, the art and the science of dentistry everywhere. You can send love and compassion, sacred heart energy to anything that you don't like, and watch how it turns things around. I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear messages this week, letting me know what you've been doing to improve your emotional elasticity and how you've been able to offer unconditional compassion. It's a good case study. We'll talk about it next week. So now we're going to go on to the path. Oh, Michelle Katie asks if metta is like energy or Reiki. Metta comes from the Buddhist school of thinking, I do believe, but it is pure energy of unconditional love. And Jack Kornfield has a great metta prayer. If you look up Jack Kornfield, I'm going to put it in the feed right now. Jack Kornfield metta practice. I think his name is spelled with a K, but I'm not sure. Not sure. Erica, correct me with red pencil if I'm wrong.
The Italian of that is agape, unconditional love.
Agape love. That would also be like metta. Yeah. All right. So let's get on to the path, because I'm going to tell you right now, all of the rest of the cards are in reverse. And there are some, I love this too. Ricky Jean said metta is a practice, not a one and done thing.
Oh, good point.
Oh, yeah. I love that, Ricky Jean.
Yeah.
Metta is a practice, not a one and done.
Nice share.
My gosh, we have amazing people on today. Okay, so the path. We're going to start out with the Archer in reverse. The Archer is akin to the Chariot in traditional tarot. It sits at spring equinox. So some of the seeds for this resistance might have been planted around the mid to end of March. And we could really be convinced this week that we are victims of our lives and that there is no way to gain control over our own reactions. We could experience a lot of doubt, anxiety, and indecision. And those feelings can completely distract you from your spiritual process and your spiritual growth. You could get completely turned around and be aiming your arrow in the wrong direction. Especially if you think I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And then you launch that arrow and it's like, oh yeah, that really wasn't what I should have done in that situation. You could get disoriented and shoot yourself in the foot, You could hurt yourself with your own arrows. The key to this is really reorienting yourself, reclaiming your wide stance, your steady gaze, your strong bow arms. And you could even be thinking about the blessings that you would write and wrap around this arrow that you're sending out into the world tree. That's going to be helpful. We want to be acting instead of reacting, or even worse than reacting in a negative way. We could just give up. We could just say, screw this. I'm keeping all my arrows. Nobody's going to get my arrows. I'm just going to keep it all to myself. There's going to be times this week when you feel out of control. That's when it's a good idea to reach for your safe space, to walk the meditative path of the labyrinth, and, just emotionally settle down. Settle down. Take a break, take a breath, take a bath, take I don't know what else you want to take. All those things. All the good emotional things. Approach the out of control feeling with curiosity and fascination. Like the little page of cups is like, oh, what's happening right here? How will I respond to this? And the Chariot reverse is saying, well, you can't. It's all bad. It's going terrible. And your page can say, I'm not going to buy into that right away. I'm going to settle myself down. I'm going to work on my emotional elasticity. And I'm going to try to turn this energy upright. It's not going to be easy. So whenever you're feeling out of control, really, I want you to return to the safe place. I want you to return to the safe place. Next in our path of putrid pus this week, we have the Nine of Stones, which Ryan and Matthews label tradition, also showing up in reverse. Now, at a very basic tarot-y level, that can feel like loneliness or I'm not getting what I deserve, any of those kind of things. But with the card labeled tradition and the image of the shamans sitting in prayer and working in front of the henge, now imagine that turned around. This is just energy of forgetting who you really are and what you came here to do. And there's a lot of reasons why we've done that. The rate of social change in the world, on the planet, has sped up into a ridiculous frenzy over the last 200 years. Before that, change was very slow coming. Last 200 years, it's been like everything's on fast forward. Most of us have no connection to ritual, prayer, and interdependent kindness anymore. You know, it's so interesting. Amy and I went for a walk yesterday through this little suburban, area. And it is so interesting to see most of the houses look like nobody lives there. There, even on a beautiful, beautiful day, there were very few people out and about, and we just don't connect in groups and neighborhoods and tribes anymore because we all want to buy our own things and keep them in our own garage and don't let anybody use your things because they probably take it and never return it, and they're probably going to break it and not tell you. So you have to keep all your stuff all to yourself. And it's resulted in an epidemic of loneliness in our societies and cultures. Used to be, for good or ill, that a lot of us went to church of some sort, synagogue, mosque, any of the religious traditions. Most of us don't do that stuff anymore. Now, rightfully so, a lot of us stopped doing that stuff because we found out it was highly patriarchal and oppressive to many of us. It wasn't a protective, safe place for people. But I think that we're ready to start doing communal prayer differently. I really do feel this change coming. We crave spirituality at this point. And it doesn't have to look like doing the Stations of the Cross once a week or going to confession or any of those kind of things. But it can look like this. It can look like this. Instead of doing our jobs, we have become our jobs. Instead of living our lives, we are curating our lives for the bottomless pit of social media, replacing a sense of worship with the worship of money and power. Okay, I know, right? I almost just said, screw this. We better draw a whole new path because everybody's going to cry at the end of this one. We've forgotten the ancestors whose blood and bones have fertilized our very lives. To work more effectively with this energy, do something to remember the ancestors. Remind yourself that we live on stolen land. Go full on, late spring vibe and plant a tree and dedicate it to the ancestors of this piece of land. If you're an urban witch, you might want to plant some seeds in a pot in your apartment. You might want to plant a flower, some herbs, something like that, just to honor the sacredness of the land and the fertility of this Beltane season. Finally on the path, we have our other page. This one, Page of Arrows, Page of Swords, represented by the wren, a lovely little bird, but it's reversed. And you know what I say about those reverse pages? If they are running the show, you are in trouble. You're going to need to put your proverbial foot down a little bit on this one. Gently, compassionately, lovingly, ministeringly, but you have to say, I'm not participating in that. No way. No way. If you feel like you're being dragged around through your life, chariot reversed, and are disconnected from your spiritual practices, most of the time what happens is we act like assholes, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I call out to God in misery and nothing good happens, and I'm just gonna, spray my pissedness around to everybody that I see. And you can do it with just your face. Like, do you ever get the face? Well, now we have masks, so you just get the eyes, and it's like you don't want to make eye contact with people because then they might talk to you, or we do things. We humans do a lot of communication without saying anything. Let me just tell you that. Instead of emotional flexibility and compassion, we start shit. Usually by talking smack about others or ourselves. Some of us like to use that self-deprecating humor as a deflector, but it really just enables us to keep doing the same thing we've always done and expecting something different to come of it.
Like making shit up.
Yeah, we could make shit up. And the Page of Swords in reverse doesn't just make shit up. It tells untruths to other people as if it were the truth. Didn't we just have 4 years of that? I digress. The Page's message this week could be in many forms, but pay attention to anybody who's telling you somebody, something, some opportunity can't be trusted. And anybody who's trying to get you to buy into their rigid ideas, because I'll tell you what, they can find 25 legit sources to like back up their opinion. It's called confirmation bias. And then they put it forth as if it's truth. And that's it. We've got the big lie. We've got many big lies. We got trouble right here in River City. So you don't need everybody to believe what you believe. You just don't. You just don't. And if you're trying to force your beliefs on people, I want you to go get right with your otter and say, I need everybody to believe what I believe.
You really otter water.
Oh, you poor thing. You're feeling so out of sorts. Let me take you to your safe space and show you all these amazing meditative walking practices so that we can settle you down. And then let's have a tea party. Let's pray together. Let's uplift each other, like that. I like it. I like it. But disconnected from curiosity, this little wren is gonna mess up your nest. The illumination. The illumination is how things come together. And yet today's illumination card is really sort of telling us how things fall apart. It's the wanderer or the fool reversed. Nothing will change. What's the point? This wanderer has lost faith. They have disconnected themselves from their curiosity, and they're really saying, oh no, instead of leveling up, I'm going to go back into this because this sucks, but I get it and I understand it. And if I stepped out with faith and trust into this new territory, then I won't be able to control anything. I won't be able to predict things accurately because I'll be putting my faith in a power greater than myself. I will be putting my faith in charge of my ego. And the wanderer reverse says, oh no, you won't. Ego's gonna win. this, instead of leveling up, we're really descending into our self-obsessions. Instead of joyfully stepping into a portal of ascension, we have decided that we will repeat the old behaviors. Or you might just be telling yourself that you're not really, that if you got really spiritual, like if you really took your soul's contract seriously, you'd look like an idiot and people would make fun of you. Instead of wandering, you choose to stay stuck. And let me tell you, doing nothing is a choice. To remain in your current condition. If you do nothing new, you will get nothing new. Or you actually might be calling in unintentionally, but not doing anything is a choice. You might be calling in a tower moment, because sometimes to get us to have faith, we need everything to fucking fall apart. So I just want you to pay attention. Pay such close attention this week to improve our outcomes. Create that safe space. Create it. Pick it out right now. You could have one outside and one inside, because it is May and, it rains a lot. But create that safe place where you can run back. You might also want to put like a little stone. I wish I had just a regular stone. You can just pick up a stone outside and put it in your pocket. You might want to make a little sigil on it or something like that, and put it in your pocket before you leave for work, and name it and charge it as your safe place. This is my safe place stone. I don't know how I want to say this, but here we go. The path of the ancestors, when embraced with wisdom, is really what we're looking for. Shunning your faith is a harsh way to act when you're feeling out of control. Just when you're feeling out of control is when you need to pray. Instead, what the path is showing us is that I will use my ego to right this situation. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be crappy to everybody I encounter. So I want you to embrace this childlike faith. I want you to limber up your emotional flexibility and be ready to minister to that cranky child that may pop up this week. Be generous and practice metta, send joy to the world, do those kind of generous things. Ask yourself what you are grasping at. What do you need to release? And do a little release working. Write a Post-it note prayer for releasing. Mine should be, I release judgment over my neighbor. I treat my neighbor as I wish to be treated myself. Those kind of prayers really can help reinforce it. You can say it every day. You can say it every hour. You can say it every minute. I just think that we're going to have to work at it a little bit harder this week. And why? Because so much more high vibe energy is available to us, but we have to reach for it. There's no low hanging fruit this week, okay? You've got to reach for everything. Think of yourself as a willing wanderer instead of a, jaded, faithless misery machine. We need to seek this week. We need to seek. I think that my little phrase, for this week will be seek, don't suck. Don't get your suckiness out. It's not going to help anything. Seek, 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 seek. And that's what I've got for us today. Blessed be. Blessed be. What do you think, gals?
Yep. I still have trouble with the concept of meme. I don't know what meme is when I hear that word.
Meme is like a little drawing. It's like cartoons that we used to, read cartoon strips. That's how I kind of think of it.
Like the thing,
it's like
all the different smiley faces people use, so you know what to do.
No, that's an emoji.
Oh, okay.
Somebody needs to explain memes better than me. They're like little New Yorker covers,
Oh, okay.
Like that kind of thing. A little social satire and I'm not a hater of memes. Some of them are hysterical. I think the one I resonate the most with is the two people, and the one's just regular and the other one's like got all these crazy lines coming off it. And she asks the one with the crazy lines, does the moon affect you? And then you see this one with like all these lines and things coming off of it. Because that's me. That's me. The moon affects me. So, so let me show you the decks that I've got for us today. We've got a little time for card pulls. I kind of went on a bit, but that path is rough. So you may want to, on Wednesday, rewatch just the group energy read and see where you are.
That's a really good idea. I like that.
For a tarot deck today, I've got the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Brzezinski. Because the message was so heavy, I thought we could use some of Monica's levity, and her artwork is just so fun and fantastical. Plus, this is a really great deck. I love it.
Oh, her images are kind of like memes a little bit?
Maybe.
Okay.
I bet she'd be a good meme maker.
I bet she would be, yeah.
The next deck that I have for us is the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy Demarco. It's got all the beautiful full spectrum of the moon's phases here. And then, because I wanted to lighten things up, I've got Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck. The artwork was done by Danielle Noel. And this is that deck of portals that I like so much. So you can request a deck, you can ask a question, but like I said before, Amy's going to choose, and we will not get to everyone, but listen, because other people's messages will speak to you. What do you got for me, honey?
Well, could you pull the first card for a couple that's having an anniversary this weekend?
Oh, who's having an anniversary?
Julie Garcia.
Ah, Julie. I'm going to pull from the Work Your Light deck. I actually did see that on Facebook this morning. Happy anniversary to you. Cha-cha-cha. So, Julie, what I've got for you is the inner temple. And it says underneath it, devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Now, I think that this is wonderful for your anniversary, and it's really speaking to me about a recommitment to your marriage, re-upping. Like, I don't know if I've said this to you before, but every year, Amy and I, it actually happens on our dating anniversary, not our wedding anniversary, but we always say, are we going to sign up for another year? And if we both say yes, which we have for how many years? 9? 8 years? No. So this is a recommitment to your marriage. This is opening the new door to your marriage. It's almost like you're moving from one house to another house. And the last time you walk out of the door of that house that you've lived in for so long, you have this feeling like, oh, I have to say goodbye to that thing. And then you get to your new house and you unlock the door and you say, oh yeah, this is why we moved to this new house. Oh yeah, look how much more square footage we have in the kitchen. We actually could both cook at the same time for the first time in our marriage. So I want you to look for those doorways into the new marriage, the ascended marriage, the marriage 2.0 sort of feeling. And just as an aside, because it just flew into my head, I want to tell you I've been seeing a wonderful relationship course by Esther Perel. So you might want to do a little search for some sort of class, some sort of book that helps you take your marriage to the next level, that lets you, and look at all the different levels. You're just going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Marriage is one of those things that you have to work on, like every day. Maybe you get 2 days off a month, but it's true. So happy anniversary, happy rebirth to your marriage.
Cool. How about let's go over to Facebook. Carla Rojas. She would love a card from Queen of the Moon.
Queen of the Moon, you got it, sister. Since I've been doing the later time, I think my West Coast people are happier. Do you think so, Carla? Are you happier? Ooh, and I have sovereignty. Oh my gosh. It is literally the card that's on the cover of the box. And you are the goddess of your life. You are the creatrix. You are you have to step more fully into the ownership of your own space. And I know it feels like every time I pull a card for you, it's the same message, but I think that you step into the sovereignty and then you run away a little bit. And then you step back in and you run away a little bit. That's okay, as long as you keep doing the cha-cha. You keep going forward, even if you stumble backwards. This week in particular, what I would like you to attend to is creating your safe space. Where do you get your downtime? Where do you get to recharge and reload? Because the sovereign needs energy. You cannot put out all the time and expect to feel this steady and this balanced and this intuitive. I also am drawn to point out that she has the moon tattooed right here on her third eye. And this is telling me, I'm really feeling that some nighttime rituals, so that you are shutting down earlier and getting better sleep, is going to help you have a strong stance as you go through your day. Okay? I love you so much, Carla. Hey, friends, you should book a reading if you're interested. Because I'm subbing a lot right now, which I love, my times are more limited. So I'm doing readings on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So if you'd like a reading, schedule one. And if you were here today for the live, you can book an hour's reading with me for half price. So that would be $55 instead of $110. But only if you are here in the live video. All right?
So somebody I've been missing since we started moving to the later time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pull a little a nice surprise card for MMB.
Melissa McIntyre Brown.
How's she doing?
I would always you need to give me a foot update, girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull from the Shadowland deck for you, Melissa.
Carla says, book me, please.
Book me, please. Message me, please, and I will. Oh my God, Melissa, you're not even gonna believe this. You got the Seeker upright. You are curious. You are open. You are ready to seek and not suck. I love this for you. You know what I love about Monica Badursky's Seeker is that, do you see that the head is laying down here and it's like a headless body holding out the cat, which is pointing in the direction. So, you know, you're familiar, your guides, angels, light beings, ancestors are leading the way, and you just need to get your whole brain right out of it. You know, like God knows better than you do right now. Follow their lead and you cannot go wrong. This is an excellent card and I love it. I love it. And Melissa is one of the most potent seekers I've ever met. She really is. Ooh, I like it. Do you have one more?
Yes, I do. I do. Jane Worth. Who is from Bend.
Jane.
She says she loves the new time. She's more awake here in Bend. Let's pull a card for her.
Absolutely. And I think I'm gonna go back to Monica Badursky's deck. Was there any question or?
I just felt so moved. And I know she's in Bend, which is where your child has been living.
Ooh. So Jane, what I've got for you is the Four of Swords. And honey, you need a rest. You need a break. You need protection energy. You need to blank out some white space on your calendar where, you know, you just don't even have a plan and you can just hang out in the hammock and recuperate. Have you been sick, injured, any of those kind of things? Or maybe you're just feeling emotionally on E and need to get to a gas station quick. I really am feeling for you the connection to the other four we saw today. Protection, creating that safe space for yourself so that you are able to take care of your dwindling energy supply. If perhaps you're in the middle of a balls to the wall project that will not let you take this rest immediately, I want you to mark it on your calendar for when you will be finished, and I want you to schedule some time off, okay? All right, that's what I've got for you, honey. Oh, she said, look at that. Jane says overworked for sure. Like everybody. That's our culture. You know, it's like we almost use it as a badge of honor. Like, you know, I worked 52 hours last week. Oh, well, I worked 58. And, you know, like I care more about shit than you. No, last week I think I worked, I don't know, 28 hours. I was fine. I'm not a workaholic. All right. Michelle, yeah, I agree with you. Capitalism is killing us. Absolutely, 100%. Natalie, you seemed like you had one more person you wanted me to pull for.
You know, I love me some Mary Jane Benoit.
Every week, Natalie wants to pull a card for Mary Jane. So I'm going to pull a Queen of the Moon card for Mary Jane. But I do want to suggest maybe Natalie Friend and Mary Jane Benoit need to have a little phone call.
Oh, we can have a joint card.
You could have a joint card. The Path, Waxing Crescent Moon. Pay attention to the path this week is what I'm hearing. So all that crap, you know, getting overwhelmed and feeling out of control, not going to your spiritual well to refill, complaining about things instead of forming action plans, and staying stuck in your old business. Those are the topics of your phone call with Natalie. And maybe you guys could be little support buddies this week on the path.
She needs my phone number. Mary Jane, my phone
number.
Oh,
not on
okay.
social media. Text Mary Jane. I have Mary Jane's phone number. I will forward it to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, my friends. Like I said, if you are here today, you can book a reading for $55 instead of the traditional $110, just for the next couple, or just for this week, and we'll re-up next week. And also, blessed Beltane season. Instead of getting bogged down by earth-like bullshit, I want you to plant something. I want you to grow something. I want you to, pick up the seed of the telephone and connect to somebody. I want you to feed yourself delicious food and maybe share some food with others. Maybe it'll be a good week to drop some things off to your local food bank. Generosity, unconditional love, and a willingness to walk the labyrinth to the next level are going to be the things that help us seek and not suck. All right, I love you. I will see you